guys, welcome back to the channel where I cover missing persons, unsolved cases, crime news, and more. So I'm going to finish off, there's just like a bit over an hour left of the interview from March 1st with the detectives in Orange County with Jen Soto. So let's finish that off.
Did he tell you he fucked?
Well, that's not what happened. Yeah.
I know, my brain just wants to believe something else. I just want to believe she's still alive, she's out there.
Did he tell you he fucked up?
No. He acted so normal that day. He was like, I'm so impressed. We got out of the house so early. Like, she made great time. We had so much time to go to McDonald's, but she didn't want to. His story was so fun. Like, every detail was so believable. He's just been lying this whole time. Like,
What about that day in the car when you offered him a lawyer? Did you disclose anything to you there that made you feel like, oh fuck, he needs a lawyer?
No. He kept acting like he didn't know what was happening, and I'm like, don't you see forensics? Don't you see they took your phone? Like, something's happening. Like, I think they're gonna pin this on you. And I'm like, in my head I'm going, they have the wrong guy. Like, they're just honing in on the last person who saw her. But no, you guys knew more.
You never said, what did you do?
I've never asked him any of that. I still, even up until when we got here to the police station, I was convinced that he hadn't done anything to her at all.
Because of him or because of not wanting to believe she's deceased?
Because of him. Because I thought he was a good guy.
So up until this morning, you still think that it's not?
No.
You're talking about the other day?
Up until
when we took him?
Yes.
Okay.
I forgot what day of the week that was.
So we're still going through his phone, his drive, like I told you, all his socials. We can date back to 2020. Based on the videos, it appears that was the start of the victimization. Okay, are we going to find anything in his phone with you?
No. We never done anything. We've never done anything.
Has there ever been a request for the two of you to participate in sexual activity with him?
No.
Regardless of you saying no or yes?
No, he's never asked that.
Okay. If we find pictures like that, is that going to surprise you? So if I'm in his Google Drive, if I have a sex crimes detective, a computer person look at his phone, and they tell me, hey Kevin, I found a picture engaged in sexual activity or borderline sexual activity, is that going to surprise you?
Yes, because that doesn't exist.
Okay. At any time during the course of your relationship, has he expressed that he has ever had sex with a child?
No. Not a child, but when he told me when he was in high school, he graduated high school like later, like older than 18.
Okay.
He dated somebody younger than 18. I think she was 15. But I don't know how old he was, 19, 20. But he was an older kid in high school. He graduated late. But he had a really young girlfriend. Her name was Kendall. And I thought that was weird. I was like, that's a little too young. He goes, no, it's fine. We were in high school. Everything was normal. Her parents loved me. Blah, 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 blah. But that's the only one.
Have you ever gone through his phone?
Who, me?
Okay. If you had to, knowing Stefan, knowing where he lives, knowing where he goes, how he conducts his life, give me your top 5. Because I know you've had to have thought about it. If you haven't thought about it, that's another weird thing I got. Since Monday, right? We told you on Wednesday that we think he did it.
Yeah.
So from Wednesday till today, it's about 48 hours. Give me your top 5 places you think are possibilities based on knowing him, based on knowing his path of travel. Where do you think, it Doesn't have to be based on evidence, just in your gut. Give me your top 5 places where you think he.
In this area.
Doesn't have to be this area.
No, I know.
Anywhere you want.
I'm saying in this area, I have no idea. Orlando, Kissimmee, no idea where he could have taken her. But his trip to Northport is weird as fuck. I feel like in Northport, he knows more people. He has more friends. There could be a place and somewhere there he could have stashed her. You guys said he went into a storage unit. That would be another place to look. But there's plenty of woods around his house. Around that exit is kind of secluded. Like,
When you say his house, you mean his parents' house?
His parents' house, yeah.
You've been there? Have you seen the property?
Yeah, I've been there before.
Do they have land? Or is it in like a neighborhood?
So it's not a neighborhood because they don't have HOA. You just buy the plot of land and build it. They don't have many neighbors.
Okay.
Or last I saw, I think there was a neighbor building right next door, but I don't know if they're done yet. I just feel like he had more, there would have been more spots in Northport for her to be dumped. Because from what you guys have told me, he went to St. Cloud, he went to 192. Could you guys tell where he turned on on any of these roads? It's just that he was on the main road?
She's so calm, considering she's talking about looking for the remains of her daughter. It's disgusting. Like I said, 1 second she's bawling or acting like she's crying. I think she cries more for herself than Madeline. And then of course she could talk normally. But she says St. Cloud. Ding, ding, ding. That's where he sadly dumped her, Jen, and I still believe he has ties to the Cox family, aka St. Cloud Santa, and we've discussed that on the channel here as well.
I didn't think he ever even knew where St. Cloud was because we've never driven down that way ever.
You live in Kissimmee, right?
Yeah, I know, but to me, he's never had a reason to ever drive down to St. Cloud, ever. There's no store or anything he goes to down there. Everything is in Kissimmee or Orlando by the mall.
Florida Mall?
Yeah.
Orlando Mall?
Yeah, Florida. I sent the last detective 3 spots. I could have recalled him telling me he wanted to visit Monday when he left the house in the afternoon and got the flat tire. He had mentioned a few of those shops, so I sent them over to you guys.
Yourself here, Jen. He doesn't have any reason to go to St. Cloud. No, he didn't. Except for that's where he dumped Madeline, and that's not far from where the Cox family lived. So that was a red flag right there.
There's honestly nowhere I can think of. We've never gone to the only wooded area that we've ever gone together would be Shingle Creek Regional Park, where the Pioneer Village is.
Okay.
That whole trail there, we had scooters, and he had like an electric skateboard kind of thing. We would all cruise the creek, explore. We've taken a canoe up that creek before. Then then the Kissimmee Trail. There's a trail that runs right behind my house that starts right behind my house and goes all the way to that bridge on John Young Parkway that says Kissimmee on it. That whole trail, we've done that as well. That's the only places I could think that like he may have gone, because that's where I know I've gone with him before. But anywhere else, I have no idea.
So our ERT team, it's called Emergency Response Team. It's just a group of people who search areas. It doesn't have to be wooded, can be wooded, can be swampy. They've been out for 3 days. They're going to be out all weekend. They will eventually, whether it's today, whether it's tomorrow, whether it's in 2026, okay? I don't think you want that to take too long. Right, I'm sure you'd like to have a funeral. I'm sure you'd like to have some kind of memorial service. The last thing you want is for us to call you in a year and say, hey, we found remains. We don't know. Okay? That may not be something you thought about till just now, but I can tell you, being someone who investigates homicide, that is something that everybody has to come think about eventually. If you can think of anything that would assist us in making that happen for you today versus 2 years from now, regardless of why you know or how you know, we need it.
No, I know. If I knew anything, I would tell you right now. I promise. I want her back so bad.
The tears, are they real? We can't see close enough to her to see if her emotions are real. I feel like she's upset for herself. I am curious about what some of the experts have to say, and this is all around the time the press conference is happening while they're talking to her here. And again, to remind you guys, thanks to a citizen that either lived or was in the area in St. Cloud, and they saw him changing a flat tire, that's how they found Madeline later that day. She's upset about planning a funeral. Well, Jen, you never went to her funeral. And you had her cremated, and you gave her remains to her father. Very interesting choices that you make regarding your daughter.
Communication been like with his father since this?
I've limited contact over the last 2 days because I know too much and I don't want to tell them anything.
You don't want to tell them what we've told you, or you don't want to tell them what you know?
No, I don't want to tell them what you guys have told me. I don't want to share any. It's so difficult because I've known them for just as long as I've known Steph, and they've I
mean, come on. Seriously? She gets upset at the darndest things. But like I said, she's going to turn it off. It won't be much longer.
They feel like absolute shit right now. I know that they kind of got into a fight because Chris started, are you sure we know our son? Are you sure we know our son? I don't think we know him at all. The mom was defending him, but now with everything, with the evidence on the phone coming out, they know. They know he's a piece of shit.
We've talked to his dad, and his dad knows as much as you know. He knows his son's a rapist. He knows his son's a murderer. He's talked to us. He's been very open with wanting to help in any way he can, whether that's technological, whether that's verbal.
Yeah, he even had, I was with him when he turned in his knife to you guys. He remembered he had a knife on him and gave it to you guys. I thought that was...
Have you talked to Chris about Stefan needing a lawyer?
Yeah.
When?
I think when you guys showed me the photos.
Oh, look at that. Some heavy sighing, and now she's not crying anymore.
So we showed you photos of Stefan raping. And
No.
the first thought you had is to ask his father if he should get a lawyer?
No. I saw a picture. I didn't see the rape. I didn't know she was getting raped until yesterday. I saw the picture of the oral sex happening. And I knew that was true, right? That's evidence. That's for real. That's fucking happening. But I kept thinking, they're going... I don't know why I can't tell you why my brain kept thinking, no, he didn't kill her. Not that he didn't kill her, but she's still missing. She's still out there. She was taken. Yes, he's done this to her, and that's not okay. But I swore she was still, I felt in my body she was still alive. She was still out there.
Come on, Jen. You knew she was dead. I don't believe it for a second. I completely believe at some point, that day, Monday, you knew your daughter was dead. Again, I don't know exactly what part of the day, but Stefan told you. I completely believe he did.
I told Chris to get him a lawyer because I felt like you guys were chasing the wrong person, but you weren't. You're not.
We showed you a picture of the picture you saw. She was giving a blowjob to a grown-ass man, and you told his dad to get him a lawyer. Missing, right? Now you, but then you just thought she was missing, and we were showing you our investigative lead being raped. A blowjob is rape. Not consensual. Whether she wants to do it or not, that is not consensual. And you prioritized him again. You prioritized him by offering him or telling his dad to get him a lawyer. Not what the fuck did he do? Not, hey, we need to figure out what happened. No, let's protect Stefan.
I was in shock.
No, that's not shock. That is your natural instinct to protect Stefan. Okay? And if that's naturally how you react, that's fine. But that goes into what I've been telling you this whole conversation is I don't believe a lot of the things you're saying, and I don't believe a lot of the things you say you weren't aware of. And that is because you've now shown me twice that your first reaction, no matter what you were told or shown, missing and we're seizing the cell phone, or we're showing you pictures of her giving him a blowjob, your first reaction is to protect Stefan. So now, ordered by Stefan, you're aware of this, you were shown pictures of this, you were shown pictures of her body in his car with a seatbelt on, right? We have played it out for you. Now you're in a stage where he's in jail, you know she's passed away, and now you can feel emotion, right? Until that point, when you were shown that she was deceased, your continued first reaction is to protect this guy. You just said, I only saw a picture of him, whatever your verbiage was, I say blowjob, of his penis in her mouth, and your first reaction was, fuck. Oh my, victimized? No. She's being abused? No. It's Stefan needs a lawyer.
Again, I love this detective. He is right on target. He is calling her on the carpet here, saying everything that we all have been thinking and saying to ourselves. She's defending her boyfriend and not taking care of her own flesh and blood. Hell, she calls it the body. Oh, when you find a body. No, Jen, when they find your daughter, Madeline.
Who the fuck cares if we think he killed her?
I don't know why I said that.
But that's the problem. You don't know why. So the reaction in your mind is you are continuously protecting this guy. So why do I sit here and believe that you don't? Because right now, you know Stefan killed her. You know Stefan's been raping her. You know without her body, can he be charged with murder?
I don't know.
Exactly. So you don't know what we can do. Do I think we can charge him with murder? It's not up to me. Should he be charged with murder? Yes.
Please.
Does your role in her life lead this to happen? I'll be honest. Yes.
I know.
Since she was a child, since her victimization started, it occurred under your roof and you acted like it didn't exist. And knowing the victimization, knowing how ongoing it is, knowing that you saw a picture of it, not just us telling you, not me and him saying, hey, listen, he's being... I think they had a bad relationship. They showed you a fucking picture of it. And you still protected him. So how am I supposed to not think that the thought process in your mind is until she's found, Stefan can't be charged with murder? Because we both now know that you don't want him to be charged with murder because you want him to have a lawyer.
No, I don't. That
was the blowjob.
That was
then.
He
can't be charged with murder.
That was then. Everything that you guys have shown me since then and have shown me that he's
so we had to show you a picture of her dead in a car for you to finally not take his side? Enough? Do you not see where I'm coming from? Like, I'm not trying to be a dick here.
No,
but it makes absolutely no sense that your name is Stefan.
I don't know.
Where does your mind go? Stefan. There should have been no doubt in your mind when they showed you that picture of what he was doing to you, that you had any care in the world other than I want that motherfucker to die. Whether you believe in the death penalty or not, he protected him. So now we're talking about her disappearance and where her body is. Why do I believe that you're still not protecting him? Because you say so? Because you can't explain why you protect him. You can't explain what is inside of you that makes you protect Stefan. And you may never be able to explain it. But eventually we're going to have to figure it out because you haven't convinced me that you're still not protecting Stefan. I got all these people out here searching. I haven't seen my own kid in days because I'm looking. Truthfully believe that I can't go home and see my kid is because you're protecting. I can't go you're people sitting in the woods just waiting for me to tell them where to go, but I can't because I think you're in trouble.
I don't care about him. I want him to go to jail. I want the worst thing possible to happen to him in jail. I know what happens to predators in jail. Like, I'm ready for that. Like, please, I don't give a fuck about him. I'm not protecting him.
But you knew he was a predator when you got shown the picture. And then you text his dad that he needs a lawyer and you hope that he invoked, was the words I was told.
What?
You hope that he didn't talk to us. He needs a lawyer.
No.
All over a picture. You didn't care. You didn't care then. Oh, whether sex isn't important to you, that wasn't anything close.
I knew what I saw was
He was
terrible.
a predator right then and there. That's the day you found out he was a predator.
Yeah.
Yes. And after you found out he was a predator, did you not say he needed a lawyer?
I did.
So why today, Friday at almost 3 o'clock, 5 days into the disappearance, 2 days since you probably found out, or 1 day since you found out she was murdered, do I believe you that you're not telling me where he went, or that he didn't disclose to you where she was, or what caused this to happen is, listen, I know you know I've been doing whatever, or listen, this fucking happened. How do I believe that that didn't happen when everything you've shown me is protect Stefan?
110%. Everything that comes out of this detective's mouth is right on the money. I think she still is protecting Stefan, and he obviously thinks the same thing. She has put him, Stefan, the nasty, perverted monster who sexually abused and murdered her daughter ahead of her own flesh and blood. And she even said, well, I don't think the sex was evil. What the F, Jen? What the F is wrong with you? I mean, seriously, I really believe you knew about this abuse. And I think this detective does too.
Now, once if you show priority in this conversation, in this investigation, you're coming here looking for her, you reported her missing, trouble for not doing that. But outside of you reporting her missing, and I may be wrong, I haven't been involved in all aspects of it, but you have not shown me one bit that you prioritize her over him. And that sucks. Not because we're working our asses off for your family, not because we have people out there sweating their asses off for your family, but because I feel like all I care about is your care is to make sure Stefan doesn't get held fucking accountable.
Well, I don't care anymore.
Anymore? Because we're being assholes, because I'm not being nice.
No.
But up until Thursday, it was okay that she gave him a blowjob. No big deal. Get a lawyer's.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't okay. I saw that and I was in shock. And I don't know why my first reaction was to tell him to get a lawyer, but I saw that and I was in shock and I was just like, I don't know what to believe. I don't know what to believe.
It's easy to believe it now. We showed you pictures of it. You can't deny it anymore. The sex was okay. The murder's not. At least that makes sense.
No, that's okay.
I want to know what it is. And not because I think you're a bad parent, not because I think you're a bad person. Dead or alive, she's missing. Her body is out there, and her body needs to be recovered so she can have a proper burial, a proper funeral. She needs to be laid to rest. Your family needs to be able to mourn her, and we need that information. That is life. That is not life of the law. That's not life of the sheriff's office. That is common decency. That is what she deserves. That is what you deserve. That is what your family deserves. But the longer that happens, the longer it takes us to find her, the less likely that's going to be for you guys. And I'm sorry if I'm wrong. I truly am. But deep down, you haven't showed me that I am.
I don't know what I need to show you.
Prioritize her over Stefan. Think of places he would have dumped her body. Think of places he went, things you talked about, things you've discussed, whether it's this week, last week. Don't put it in your mind that he's been victimizing you, or don't put in your mind that I'm being a dick. And what can I think about to find out where Stefan put her? You know more about where he goes, what he's doing, or what he would do than you want to realize. That's natural, not because I'm telling you, but because that's natural. I have best friends. I know more about them than I think I know about them. I just need to sit down and think about it. So I need you to sit down and think about it. Whether you need a minute, we're not in this room, whether you want to do it with us in this room, we need to leave here with an idea of where we can go look for. That is one thing we can agree on.
I've sent you the list of the stores that he may have stopped at and didn't stop at. The only outdoorsy places I can think of that we've ever gone to that he would know about would be Shingle Creek or Kissimmee Trail. I don't know if he knows where Lake Toho is, but that could be another option.
Because you think it's a wooded area? Because it's a place you guys have talked about together?
Because it's a wooded area with a lake, with gators. Like, we haven't discussed anything. This topic, I never asked him if he directly. I never thought he could have. I always assumed the best in him. But I didn't ask him directly. I didn't even suspect. Not until you guys showed me that picture upstairs. We're here. I'm just thinking of, if I name places, it's going to be wooded areas that I can think of, but he hasn't told me anything. Like, he has not told me, or we haven't discussed.
So him going to 192 that day, all you know is that he went to 192,
He said he wanted to visit House Card Rules. That was one of he named 3 stores, and that's one store I can remember him listing on that list.
House Card Rules?
Yeah, I don't have my phone.
We'll get your phone a little bit. House Card Rules. What kind of store is that?
I don't know if that's like a video game or card game or board top game store.
But that's on 192.
Close to one, I think close to 182 somewhere.
And he said he wanted to go to 3 stores.
Yeah. But he did tell me that I just don't remember which one.
Are there woods in that area? Are you familiar with 192?
No, not where these stores are. I have no idea.
Other than you came up with wooded areas that you know of.
Yeah.
You came up with wooded areas that you think he could double body in.
Because I've been there with him, yeah.
I need to know wooded areas where he travels. Right? You're saying we've been there so she could be there. So that tells me she's not there. It tells me it's a waste of a search.
Okay.
Because when I put 90 plus people there, that's all day. Right? We got to coordinate that. We got to put them there. So we need fruitful searches.
Yeah.
So I need likely places that you think, and I need places you think based off of conversations with him, not because you can picture in your mind that there's trees there.
Okay. There's no conversation I can think of where he's named interest in being anywhere near woods or it being along his way.
Said he got a flat tire. Tell me about the flat tire you got.
So he said he got a flat tire. I'm not sure when he got a flat tire, but he said he got a flat tire and then came directly home, and he got home around 2:40. So flat tire, he said he was driving down 192 and it just popped and shredded and fell apart. And he pulled over into a plaza and changed the tire for the first time in a very long time, and said he hurt himself doing it. The frame of the car, something came down on his finger.
All his lies, I don't care, but I want to know what you question him about. Why was he there? What was he doing? There's no way you're the most trusting woman in the world and you just don't ask clarifying questions. I know no relationship I've ever been in is that trusting. He just tells you he's gone at 3 in the morning getting a fucking Wawa, and you're like, whatever, bet. Same thing with this. It's like, I got a flat tire, was here. Why is he at these places? Do you not question him? Why were you on 192? Why did you dip out at 3 in the morning with my car?
I didn't know he was out.
Because this is 2 times he went to 192. He went to 192 the day she disappeared, right? He's roaming, looking for her south of where she went missing, because supposedly she went missing. And 192 is south of where that is.
And
not very likely that that's the route she went on foot or abducted, and that him driving around is somehow going to locate her.
And he did tell. I did question that. I was like, when I asked him where he's searching, he said 182. I said, why? That's nowhere where she would be. And he didn't give me a clear answer, and I don't know why I didn't push it. I just thought he was being stupid and oblivious, because I don't see him as the smartest man. Like, I don't. I let him do what he does, but I don't trust a lot of his. Is the word judgment? I'm not sure, but I just don't trust that he makes the smartest decisions sometimes. Like,
Trust him, and he's not the smartest man. Yet you trusted him with your daughter. And again, we come back to that your mother, which I don't believe she ever told you, not to trust men. So, again, with the contradictions, Jen, you say one thing and then you change it later. I mean, it's just so much crap comes out of your mouth.
he likes to act like the smartest man in the room, but I don't think he is.
Do what he does. Meaning?
I'm sorry?
You said, I let him do what he does.
Yeah.
What's that?
If he wants to just get up and go to the store, I'll ask where you're going, but I won't stop him. Just let him go on his way. I'll let him do what he wants to do.
What do you think happened? Monday to deceased. We showed you pictures that she's deceased. We know that she was probably deceased Sunday into Monday. We didn't see her Monday morning.
I still don't want to believe she's deceased. I know you showed me pictures, but
for the purpose of this conversation, I need you to believe it because I need you to figure it out. I need you to tell me what you think happened to her.
I think he killed her that night.
How?
I don't know. Could it probably be possible that he drugged her? Could he have choked her? I just don't know how you kill someone and don't leave a mess or don't leave evidence, or I mean, was there a mess? Was there evidence? I haven't gone upstairs. I don't know what you guys I barely went into the house today, so I don't know what.
I need to know what you think happened.
She talks about rugs and choking. Remember in her Fox 35 interview, she said, I can't breathe. I feel like I can't breathe. And she also mentions rugs. She knows a lot more. And nobody can convince me otherwise. She's somehow involved. And I just have no question in my mind.
I think he killed her.
How? You mentioned drugged her. You mentioned other things. Explain your reasoning behind those assumptions and we'll move forward day by day.
So he had access to benzos and I think Lunesta.
What are those? I'm not familiar with that.
Benzodiazepines are anxiety medications which relax you and can make you sleepy.
Okay.
And Lunesta, I think, is a sleeping medication, like for insomnia. So I don't know if it's possible he gave her something and she was drugged. In those photos that you showed me where you're saying she's dead, maybe she was drugged. But if she is dead and it was done upstairs, I could just only imagine that he choked her. I don't know how else you would kill someone and not leave a mess.
How do you think he got her out?
I have no idea because roommates come in and out of the house at any given point in the morning and we don't know their schedules. They can come in at any time. You guys showed me a picture, I think, of him or her in the car at 7:30 in the morning. My roommate left the house. She's the one who leaves the earliest. She left at 7:45. So like, what if he had waited a little longer? She would have caught him with carrying a body out of the house. How did he do that without being caught or seen? That's what I don't understand because, like, did you guys check and see if any of my neighbors have Ring cameras? Any? Nothing?
I don't know what data we've gotten from them, but at this point I need to know what you think happened to her. I don't need you to ask us what we found.
Okay.
What we found has happened. I need you to come up in your words, in your mind, what do you think happened that night into Monday, because we do not know. I don't know if her murder occurred Sunday or Monday. All we know is that when you went to bed, they went to bed together, and she's no longer here. So I need to know what you think happened to her, how he got her out of the house, where he went, how he got her into the car, what is your thought on what happened.
I think she was killed Sunday night into Monday morning. I'm thinking he carried her out of the house. I don't know how he didn't get caught by any of my roommates or no one heard. You're saying he drove all around town. I'm not sure where he could have gone.
Coming home and leaving, what do you think? Knowing that he killed her.
That's suspicious as fuck.
It is suspicious as fuck, but if you're writing a book, what do you write? Let's say this is a fiction novel. right? You're now aware that he killed her, so now you can piece together a story of what happened, right? You don't know the story because you're not him, and you tell me he hasn't told you, so it's not real. So you're telling me what you think,
Yeah.
right? We know he killed her. We know he drove out of there Monday morning. We know he discarded her backpack in the trash dumpster. We know he discarded her laptop and one shoe, right? So all her property was discarded to look like she's gone. That way he doesn't have evidence with him. They leave. You've been told that they drove around Orange County, Osceola County, wherever it was. We've pieced that together throughout the week, all right? He's told you where, at least in his version of where he was and what he was doing, right? But then you have all these suspicious times of when he's left and come back and he's gone here and gone there. So what do you think he was doing on all these suspicious times? He's roaming 192. What do you think? Knowing what you know now we can play. You know she's dead. You know that we've given you information. What do you think, knowing what you know, he was doing at 192? He was doing here. He was doing here. He was doing in Northport. What do you think?
So him leaving early in the morning and driving around aimlessly somewhere. I feel like he stashed the body at that time. When he came back and then left again. But see, it's daytime. Like, how could you move a body or move something in daytime and not be seen?
Again, the body. Jen, it is your daughter. It's not the body or a body. It is Madeline Soto. It's your daughter. You are distancing yourself from her, and I don't know why.
But like, I feel like he went back to check to make sure he did a good job, or to move the body again. I don't know. But him leaving the house multiple times without his cell phone is sketchy as fuck. It's so suspicious.
Which is an intentional act. It's not accidental, so that can play into what you think happened.
Yeah. Do you think phone being on the dresser?
It was intentional. Her cell records and her cell data from her cell phone show it is not common for her to leave her phone at home. It is common for her to go to school with her. You know, teenager leaves their phone at home. It's what they're attached to it.
She's left her phone home multiple times.
Her cell data shows that normally it goes with her, so that's intentional. You know it's intentional because he left his too.
Yeah.
Right? Whether it's an accident last Friday, this Monday, was not an accident. So you think that he dumped her when he was driving around? You think that when he left, he went to check her body?
Possibly.
Okay.
Why would you go back out to 182 without your cell phone?
I don't disagree. So he goes out to 192. We think he may have checked where he dropped her or dumped her. He comes home. He tells you they're just roaming around aimlessly. Right?
Yeah.
So that's twice on the 192 in one day, because he went to look at the House of Cards bullshit or whatever it is,
Yeah.
and then he went to do the roaming to look for her on this random highway that he never goes to.
Okay.
Okay? We go into the next day and the next day. Think of the suspicious things he's done. Tell me what you think he's doing.
Him grabbing my phone and trying to log into his emails, that seems kind of suspicious. What was he trying to see? What was he trying to do? The thing is when he had my cell phone, now that I think back to it, he had something wrapped around it, so the phone was under a blanket, and he was like this. Because I tried looking at the screen at one point, and I could see an email. But
And that was the cell phone we took from you today, or you gave us today.
Yeah. Because I recall a family member telling me something, like my sister, was the last thing searched on it Amber Alert?
Her cell phone has Amber Alert searches in it, but I looked through her cell phone last night. I do believe that she may have been clicking on links for Amber Alerts that came through. I don't think she was actually searching them.
Okay.
They could have just been links she clicked on.
Okay. Because I wasn't sure if that was him Googling on her phone about Amber Alerts or if that was her.
That we will never know. He is not obviously cooperating.
Can you like, could you guys explain what happened yesterday?
Before that, I need you to continue going with.
Yeah. Where are we at?
Suspicious utilization of your phone.
Of the phone. Him disappearing multiple times. Him disappearing to Northport. What the hell was he doing? That is suspicious. I mean, now that I know that that's where he went, that is suspicious as all fuck. Why did he go to a storage unit facility? What was he grabbing? What was he trying to dispose of? Or what was he trying to hide in the that to me is suspicious.
She tries to get the detective, notice there, she tries to get the detective to help her out. He's like, well, this is where we were. He wants her to talk. Okay? And yeah, it's suspicious that he went to Northport. 110%, Jen. Why would he go there? Why would he go to Northport? Well, we ended up finding out he was trying to access a cloud from his parents, through their parents' internet, and there was computer drives and what have you, and a router, and Christopher's in that storage unit. So yeah, he was trying to do all that. But yeah, every single step he took was suspicious.
Do you put more weight on that than 192?
192, no, because 192 would be something happened in Northport. There'd be no reason he would take.
Do you understand what I was asking with that phrase, putting weight on it? Like, do you feel like it's more suspicious what he was doing in Northport versus 192?
I don't know which one is more suspicious to me. They both. 192 seems to me like the easiest place he could have dumped her or like figured out where to put her. Unless she was in my trunk the whole time and he went to Northport.
The trunk of your car?
Yeah.
Didn't you drive your car at some point? Did you guys sit in your car at some point?
I did. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I would have probably smelled something, but I didn't. So I'm just trying to think, like, did he stash a body in Northport? No, I don't think so. He was probably hiding something or destroying something. So I guess 192 would probably be the most important right now.
Being in your trunk is oddly specific.
The only reason I say that is because from what you guys have told me, he went directly from the hotel to Northport. I don't think he made any stops anywhere in Kissimmee or anything first and then went to Northport.
All we know is what we can piece together through accessible cameras and data. So his movements, his driving patterns, his actions, we can only 100% say what they are if they're on camera.
Okay.
So we can say he went to Northport because the car was in Northport. Where he stopped, where he went in between, that cannot be factual from us if we don't have a camera. It can just be an assumption, which is why I want your assumptions, because you know him, I don't.
Yeah. I fell asleep at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. At the hotel. What was that, Monday night? Tuesday night?
One of them.
I'm just trying to think, like, could he stashed her and then took her to Northport. I think he had time.
Has he cleaned your car since it came back from Northport? Has he brought it to a car wash? Has he detailed it? Paid somebody to come out?
No.
Because you, through your, we called it a fiction novel, you pieced together what you think happened based on a suspicious activity, and you ended with, you think he put her in your trunk and brought her to Northport.
Yeah.
I know I asked you to make assumptions, but now I want to know why. Why is that how we finished this? What is in your mind leading you to believe that is the ending of the story?
Because 192 seems like a really busy strip, and I can't think of anywhere immediately, like, other than going deep into St. Cloud, like passing St. Cloud, like going into Holapa or Harmony, that I could see some stashing the body somewhere around there. But Northport has so many wooded areas, and I feel like be familiar with both areas. I just don't know him to ever drive down 182 super far down, like into St. Cloud. But I've known him to drive around all around Northport. But see, I don't want to say anything and like lead you guys down to Northport to do a search and nothing's there. I'm just
We're gonna go everywhere.
We're searching woods right now where she's not.
Okay. I just want to be like, I know you guys are like looking at me for the details, but I'm like, I don't want to send you on a wild goose chase.
That's sort of ironic, isn't it? I don't want to send you on a wild goose chase. That's kind of what you've been doing since the start, though, Jen. You reported your daughter missing, and I don't believe you ever thought she was missing. Again, this is my opinion, and I want to hear y'all's thoughts as well in the comments, but I think she knew. She knew. So she's put all this manpower, all these people dedicating themselves to finding her daughter. So it's ironic that she's like, oh, I don't want to send you on a wild goose chase. She doesn't care about that. She's playing this game with them, and they don't buy her garbage. They know she's full of it. And she tries to act half the time like everything is okay or she's calm, and the next minute, oh, I mean, look at her right now. Her hands on her forehead. Oh, what was me? You know? I mean, come on, Jen. Really.
You know him better than us. You gotta really think. Right now, I feel like you want to tell us.
No, if I knew what to tell you, I would tell you. If I had the truth, I would tell you. I don't know anything.
Jennifer, where do you think you took her?
If I were him and I had to stash a body, but I would never do this. My mind would.
The silence is telling. It's just very, very telling. And again, she distanced herself. If I had to stash a body, I mean, I wouldn't, but Again, you're so disconnected from your own daughter. It's just disgusting. It really is.
Say to go to Lake Toho. There's a lot of woods there. There's a lot of gators. I don't want to think of it though. No, I know. I just don't want to think about her getting eaten by gators. I don't know where she is.
Like I told you, there's going to come to a point where we will. Right? Volusia County Sheriff's Office just found somebody the other day that's been missing for a long time. People get found. Sometimes it's quick, sometimes it's not quick. I'm hoping this situation is today, tomorrow, Sunday, but we will find her. What you need to think about is when you find her, is there an opportunity or a chance that we are going to prove that you did not assist us to your full capability in this investigation? And if that is true, you need to think about the consequences of that. Consequences of hindering a murder investigation or a capital sexual battery investigation could be punishable up to probably the same charges, the same time in jail. I know you know that I don't believe what you're saying. I know you know that I think you prioritize Stefan, but you prioritize jail. You see what I'm saying? Like, if we come back and prove that you sat in this room and misled us,
No.
that you didn't lead us in the right direction, or that you assisted, or you acknowledged, or you knew, you're going to be warning from jail.
If I knew anything, I swear I would tell you.
I don't believe her. They don't believe her. She knows a lot more. And for those that are still saying, well, they're saying she's not going to get charged. She had that interview that was not complete immunity. It gave her immunity up to anything she stated previously. Okay? But all they got to do is find new evidence or catch her in other lies. So it could happen months from now. I don't think she's scot-free at all. I think she will be charged with some sort of felony in the abuse and or murder of her daughter. They're not going to waste their time on misdemeanors. They want to get her on a felony.
He has mentioned, we haven't discussed this. I had no suspicion of anything. He did not tell me any more details of where he went that day other than those shops that I had mentioned. I'm giving you my truth.
On any of the days that he came home after these suspicious outings, 192 trips, Northport trips, and everything else, did he change clothes? Did he come home and appear disheveled, sweaty, dirty?
I don't believe he showered. He didn't bring that many changes of clothes with him, so I know he's repeated his outfit over and over.
That's disgusting. He hasn't showered and he's wearing the same clothes. His nastiness just keeps going.
It's possible he could have come home all sweaty and disheveled after the supposed changing the tire thing, but I wasn't home to see that. But other than that, I didn't see him come home dirty or sweaty or anything like that.
Did he do anything he normally doesn't do within the house around you?
computer chair, chatting away with me, talking about updating his phone.
So bored. Look at her. She could fall asleep right there. I mean, that's what she does all the time. She takes her drugs and goes to sleep. So it's just her lack of care and concern about her daughter is disturbing. And it makes me sick. And she's just way too trusting and supportive of Stefan. It blows my mind.
Did he carry tools in his car to change the tire, typically?
I think he said there was a tire iron in the car and the jack.
Did he bring it inside? Did he leave it in the car? After?
I think he left everything was in the car.
Did you ever go look at his car? To verify that he changed his tire?
I don't think I did.
Never dawned on you to go double check. Because by the time he would have got back from the tire, you were gone, right?
Yeah.
What you told us?
Yeah.
And then she was reported missing.
Yeah.
During that time.
Yeah.
It never dawned on you to be like, damn, did he really change his tire? Let me double check.
No. We got home really late that evening and I didn't even think of doing that.
This is part of our problem. He did so many things and you never questioned it.
I didn't suspect him.
How can we believe some of the stuff that you're telling us or believe that you don't know?
I don't know how to say it. I mean, I guess I'm stupid and gullible and very trustworthy, but I didn't think he'd be the type to do anything like this. I didn't doubt.
But you knew he was vindictive. You described him as not trustworthy with his family. You described instances where you document where he was lying to his family, lying to you, lying to others.
Lying to his family, yes, but lying to me.
You discussed that he wasn't that good of a person. You had to it wasn't this family. You're not describing him in a positive light at all. So this trust, this caring, all this stuff makes no sense because you, regardless of the victimization, describe him as a good person. He's stealing from his parents, right?
But he never stole from me.
You guys have no money, but all he's doing is ordering things, right? He's buying himself things. He's not. You described him as a selfish thief. You even called it a robbery, that he robbed his parents. So you're trusting this dude who you're describing as untrustworthy.
But I thought he was.
What happened to her? Where did you ask that? I can't fathom that. I can't wrap my head around that.
I think I only asked him if he took her to school. When I called him and told him to come to the office, I asked him, like, you dropped her off at school, right? Because she never made it. And he said, yeah. And I was like, she never made it. Where did you drop her off?
You guys sat in your car Tuesday night when I was out there. I was out there at least 4 hours. Just you two in that car.
Yeah.
You can't tell me you guys did not have any conversations about this. There's no way. A reasonable person would have been questioning him. You were the last person with her. What the hell happened this morning? You never did that in that car.
No, I didn't.
I think they did discuss the day, and I think they discussed their story or script or whatever you want to call it. And I think that they made sure they had it all together. Because both of them have repeated the same ball of garbage, same crap, over and over in all of these interviews. So I think a lot was discussed while they were waiting.
I remember being on my phone. He was on my phone for a little bit. I know I was medicated, and I was just zoning out. I wasn't thinking anything of anything. I never asked him. Just asking him that one time to me was, if he took her to school, that was enough answer for me. I don't know. I just wanted to think. Not think the worst, I guess. I don't know. But I just didn't think he did anything. Now I know. But then I didn't. I was still believing everything he was telling me.
Juvenile robbery suspects utilize the excuse of, I was high on bars, I took Xanax, I was blacked out. Right? Every juvenile robbery suspect you interview, I was, in your words, medicated, in their words, high, incapacitated, drunk. It's an excuse to avoid admitting what happened. When you say you're medicated, I can't think of an amount of medication that will numb you so bad to numb the fact that the investigation is occurring right in front of your face for your missing. So being medicated is just an excuse to avoid answering why you didn't discuss with him what happened.
Boom. I love this guy, Kevin. The other guy is great too. These detectives, I mean, well, none of these investigators, detectives that have been on this case from the get-go, none of them have bought their lines of garbage. It was pretty obvious from the beginning. But he's like, I don't give a crap how much drugs you're on and whatever. Your daughter is missing / murdered, and she was abused, but you're like, oh, I'm just really high and tired because I'm on all these drugs. Oh, well, I don't really know. No. It doesn't work that way, Jen. You just do not give a crap. You really don't care about your daughter. And it is sad. She should have been able to go live with her father and her stepmother in Texas. And if she would have been there, she would have been alive and well.
Minimizes your guys' interaction by saying you were not fully coherent. But there's a person I know who can sit in a car and watch a bunch of detectives and crime scene investigators and everybody else search her house, seize her house, and be so numb that somehow is not ringing bells, is not overcoming the power of this little medication. There's no way. The human body will overcome that in a big situation. You didn't take enough medication to numb you of the reality of what was occurring.
I mean,
there's no way. Unless you were fully incapacitated, there's no way you were so numb that everything he described to you, everything I described to you was not in the forefront of your mind. You weren't numb. Just like these robbery kids weren't blacked out. They weren't high enough to not remember the robbery. They just don't want to talk about it.
No, it wasn't clicking. It didn't click to me. Like you guys telling me like it wasn't as obvious, like this and that. I still believed the story he had told me, that while we were sitting in the car, I still fully believed everything he had told me. I didn't doubt him. I really thought you guys were going after the wrong guy. I'm like, they're wasting time. The real suspect is out there. She's being sex trafficked. That was my biggest fear, is that she was being sex trafficked. I didn't think that she would actually be dead.
Either you're the biggest liar, which we know you're a liar, or you are really that dumb and naive. And I don't think you're dumb and naive. I don't. And these guys aren't buying that line either. I can guarantee it.
But she thought enough to get him a lawyer.
I really thought you guys were going after the wrong guy.
At that point, from the jump, we've been trying to find her. That has been and will be our biggest priority.
Him getting arrested for victimizing her was an accident. We only discovered that she was a victim because we took his phone.
And I'm like so happy that happened, because if not, this would have continued to keep happening.
Well, it wouldn't have, because he killed her on Monday.
Talking about if she had been found. Found alive. I've asked this before, but there's no like map you guys can show me of like with a highlighted route of where he could have taken, to see if I could recognize anything or suspect anything.
I can pull up a map on my phone of the areas you described and we can go through it.
Sure.
You said House of Cards?
No.
House
game rules.
House of Cards. On Vine Street in Kissimmee.
By Oak Street.
There you go. That is House Game Rules. Feel free to drag the map around as you please.
That's all of it. Oh my god.
Like this is a stall tactic because they want answers, they want information out of her. And she asked again, well, maybe if you show me a map, I can look at it.
Florida has a lot of wetlands, so anything you see that's green may not necessarily be wooded, it's maybe a rule, but we're looking more for where you think based off of this route, not necessarily just like the green parts of the map.
Yeah. One shop I can remember him specifically naming that he was going to that Monday. He said house game rules. Did he make it there? I don't know. See, if we ever went down 192 together, it would typically be in this direction towards 535, towards Disney. That's why I find it really strange that you guys say St. Cloud, because I've never gone into St. Cloud with him before.
So you told me you have a friend in St. Cloud.
I do.
I don't know if he knows, but explain to him where she lives, who she is. Explain that relationship to him, because I don't think he's aware of it.
No.
Oh, okay. So one of my really good friends lives off of Old Canoe Creek Road, off Nolte.
Okay.
I don't know what neighborhood though. She's one of my really good friends. She's somebody I know that lives in St. Cloud. She's one of like two people I know that live in St. Cloud. She's hung out with us, as in me and Stefan before. She's come over to hang out with me, and Stefan would be hanging out there too, so we would all kind of hang out together. But yeah, she's just a friend.
And you're 100% sure he's never been to her house?
Yes.
Do they have...
Again, though, you said, I don't know why he would go to St. Cloud. We don't know anybody in St. Cloud. Oh, wait, I have 2 friends in St. Cloud. Duh. See, you just can't... Your story is just so inconsistent except for the script that y'all came up with before you called the police.
Do they have their own friendship? Or is it just, that's your friend and the only time he ever talks to her or hangs out with her is with you?
Exactly. Just my friend. He would talk when she was around.
And you just told me about the second person in St. Cloud. Who is that?
Somebody I haven't seen in a long time. Her name is Courtney Brackman. She lives... Can you pull up the map?
Mm-hmm.
But he's never been over to her house either.
Search.
Preserve there.
Yeah, a few years ago. We would go hiking all the time with my friend Courtney, the one who lives right by there.
With Stefan?
No, Stefan would never come.
Now, would you tell him you're going to Lake Lizzie Preserve?
I've mentioned it before, yeah, when we've gone.
Okay. When we talked about St. Cloud and he had asked for your top 5 places. Why did this ever cross your mind?
Lake Lizzie?
Any of these places in St. Cloud that you're familiar with?
I mentioned them the first time St. Cloud was brought up. I mentioned my 2 friends that live there. And then, I don't know if I ever mentioned Lake Lizzie. Not sure.
Do you know if Lake Lizzie was special?
She did enjoy going out there.
Was she verbal about that? Like, did she make that known to you guys?
She always told me that if we were to go hiking out there to let her know, because I've gone hiking without her. I go. But it's been a really long time since I've done a hike down Lake Lizzie with her. That's been at least 2 years. That I would know, that I could think of, that he might be aware of, but...
But your gut tells us no.
Lake Lizzie, probably not. Like, does he even remember what the name of Lake Lizzie is? Probably not.
against him?
Okay, so the one friend's house is about 15-ish minutes from Hickory Tree Road. And then if you look up this Lake Lizzie Conservation, it's about 14 minutes, not that far off of 192. So, I start to wonder, did he initially consider getting rid of Maddie there, and he ended up having to go to Old Hickory Tree because of the flat tire? But that's about a 14 minutes too. So we're talking, this is all really close range in St. Cloud, these locations.
Was he in the video games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
World of Warcraft, into tabletop games like Dungeons and Dragons and Warhammer 40k, card games like Lorcana, which is a Disney card game. That's what he told me he was going to go do Monday. He was going to go look for Lorcana cards, and that's why he was going to go to House Rules Gaming. He was just going to make a few stops, and I said, why are you doing that? Why are you wasting time when we don't have money? Like, you don't have money to spend. He's like, oh, I'm just browsing. I just want to look. I want to see what they have available. That's all he said. Every time I did question him, he always had an answer.
Of course he did. He had plenty of bullshit to tell. I mean, he's gotten a lack of lies, that's for sure.
Do you guys know, like, up until when on 182 you guys found him, seen him? Like, how far down?
We just know it's St. Cloud.
So I keep thinking, like, house game rules on 192. Okay, it's got some secluded stuff in the background, or in the back of it. But it's still 182. It's still really busy.
These detectives are so over this. Look at them. They're like, we're just basically getting nowhere with her. And if you look at the time on the bottom, it's about an hour later. We're entering almost about an hour later is when Madeline's body was discovered in St. Cloud.
followed behind. I think you guys said my car might be ready.
We'll verify that one. The investigation is still going.
Yeah.
Right, Stefan also is not in charge of murder. Right, just a sexual.
He's not, or he is?
He has not been.
Oh, okay.
He's just been charged with sexual battery. I have a couple questions for you that are going to be on record, that are going to be official, that I need you to answer truthfully. Because if they're determined that you did answer not truthfully, you can be held accountable for it. Make sense?
Yeah.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear that everything we talked about today in this interview is true and correct?
Yes.
Did you lie to me or the detective at any time?
No.
Okay. Do you currently know, or have you ever been aware of where the body has been since Monday?
No.
Did you have any?
No.
Were you aware at any time, whether it be the most recent instance or the first instance, victimization sexually by Stefan? Okay. At this time, you do not know where Stefan went on 192?
I don't.
You do not know where he went in Northport?
I do not.
And you have at no time this week in any conversations with Stefan where he disclosed what he did?
No.
Okay. The story that we talked about of what at one point we discussed that she could potentially have been in a trunk on the way to Northport.
Yeah.
Is that information you know to be true or an assumption?
An assumption.
Okay. Do you have any questions for us before we go check on the phone in the car? We may not be able to answer everything, but if you have questions, we can see if we can answer those questions. It's not your only opportunity. Your only opportunity phase was you saying you swear.
Yeah.
Okay. Lastly, the only opportunity, you obviously have numerous detectives' phone numbers, you have numerous agencies' phone numbers, things like that, so realistically, there will be other options for you to ask questions.
I don't think I have questions right now.
Okay. I don't want you to think I was purposely an asshole to you.
No, I know.
All
You're
right.
doing your job.
Like I told you, like the sheriffs have probably reached out. You've been in communication with numerous people here. Those are my opinions and my opinions only. They don't reflect Sheriff Mina, the chief of PD, Kyle, any other detectives who talked to you. All right. I personally don't know. All right. We will be here all weekend. We will be here all night. My only hope is that you truthfully did not lie to us. You truthfully don't know where she was, and that you truthfully did not know what was happening to her.
Yeah, she lied, and they know it. And she lies every single time she opens her mouth when they ask her questions. And it's disturbing that when they ask if she's got any questions, no. Yeah, your 13-year-old daughter is missing, or now they're telling you that she's dead because she was murdered by your boyfriend who abused her, who R'd her, okay? And you're like, oh, I don't have any questions. So odd and suspicious, Jen. It blows my mind. You are just definitely involved as far as I'm concerned, and that's my opinion. I don't know. I mean, everything that she says that comes out of her mouth is just, I don't believe it. You know, there's truth intermixed in the garbage, and she's just so, she's got no emotion about the abuse and murder of her daughter. This girl on the screen here, innocent Madeline Soto, who just turned 13 before she was murdered, That should have always been Jennifer's priority. Always. She gave birth to her. She carried her for 9 months. What kind of a mother is she that she doesn't really seem to care about everything that happened? I just feel like these tears are not for Madeline. I think they're for her. Remember, she said, "Oh, tomorrow is my birthday. This is such an awful birthday." Again, Madeline was celebrating her birthday, and then she was murdered. I think her birthday and this whole situation is much worse for her. Again, she's just, it blows my mind the way she acts. And yes, she has mental issues. She's got bipolar, but it's just not an excuse for all this. It's not. There's people who have all kinds of mental issues, and they are much more caring and dedicated to their children. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Again, thanks to Grizzly True Crime. We've got through this one. I'm going to take a break for a night or two. I think the Stephen Stearns one is like super long. I'm thinking like 3 or 4 hours. And tomorrow, Sarah Boone's in court, so we're going to jump back over to that case. But I appreciate you guys as always, and please hit like if you like the content here. And if you haven't subscribed, it's really, really appreciated. You'll get notifications whenever I get a video up, and it, really does help YouTube. It helps get the videos out. All right, I hope you have a great rest of the day, and most of all, stay safe.